Yo, what's going on, everybody? You got Tone here, the coach of the main Red Clawers, and I am here bringing you guys the final week of the NPL Minors Season number 5, where we will be taking on Zidane, or Lord Zidane as he's known, coach of the Tulsa Excadrillers in our season finale. So, as you can tell by our record, we're nowhere close to making the playoffs. So I at the very least want to end the season on a positive and do something I have never done in the NPL minors since I've been here: win 4 games. And no lie, this is going to be like a very difficult thing to do. Like, Zidane's team is very good. He's in playoff contention, and if he wants to earn that spot, that final spot in the playoffs, I of course want to do right by him and actually try to, give him a run for his money. So there you see his team to the right with the Lando T, Zemus, Weavile, Clefable, Roserade, Milotic, Azelf, Gigalift, Mienshao, Electrode, Zemu, Eligible, Gotharita, and the Mega Scizor. So I'm not gonna lie, I went into like a balls to the wall heavy offensive team with like one questionable set, which I didn't really care about because I was already out the playoffs, and I'll get into the future afterwards. But I just went balls to the wall offense because I was like, you know what, why not? So team started off with Double Dance Mew, Nasty Plot, Rock Polish, Psychic, Fire Blast. Pretty much hits its entire team neutrally. The only thing that really stops this is like Unaware Clef and like Miracle Milotic, but that's pretty much it afterwards. I'm running up speed for like Lando T, and then after a Rock Polish, I pretty much outspeed his entire team. Nasty Plots so I can break past his bulkier Mons. Cobra Berry just so I can take a knockoff from Weavile, and it's pretty much straightforward with Mew. Then have a Choice Specs Primarina, Scald, Moonblast, Hidden Power Fire, and Hydro Pump. Again, nothing really fancy. There was nothing I can like really think of putting as the 4th move. I could have put Psychic, but I decided not to because it felt pretty pointless because HP Fire already hits Roserade, Mega Scizor, and all that stuff. So decided against it. Then we have Scolipede, SD3 attacks with Mecha Horn, Poison Jab, and Aqua Tail. Enough speed for Lando T again, and I mean, I could have outsped Mienshao and whatnot, but I didn't really care much for Mienshao, at the very least, and you'll see why, because my team is so offensive. I'm not going to like try to run switch-ins and whatnot, because it was like, what's the point? So that is my Scolipede. Now on to the kind of heat. Well, this isn't really heat. This is more like, this is like me trying to leave the season on a high note with some meme set or something like along those lines. So this Arcanine set is designed to 1v1 Milotic. With Grip Claw, with Fire Spin, Toxic, Morning Sun, and Safeguard. The HP and the special defensive vestment ensures that my Arcanine is never it avoids being 2 KO'd by uninvested Milotic Scald. I could have went full Spadef, but I decided not to just because reasons. So if I get up a Toxic one to Milotic, I Fire Spin to trap it. Grip Claw means that Fire Spin will last 7 turns as opposed to stopping after 4 or 5, and then Safeguard protects my Arcanine from being toxic. And then I can Morning Sun, keep itself healthy, and all that stuff. So it's pretty funny, but this only works if he brings Milotic. If he doesn't bring Milotic, then Arcanine's kind of screwed, because all it does afterwards is it checks. The only thing it really does afterwards is like dealing with Mega Scizor and like Unaware Clef. If it's Unaware Clef, I can then like I get Toxic, and then pray he's not Heal Bell. That's really all I can do at that point. So that's the Arcanine. Now we have our dedicated lead in Zoroark, Counter, Taunt, Memento, and Knockoff. I lead with this. Depending on what he leads with, I will stay in and go for Counter. I will knock off any item or whatnot. This is pretty much like if he leads off with like if he brings Scarf Mienshao, I can I disguise it as Primarina, force him to U-turn, and then whatever he brings in gets hit by counter because his team has no ghost type, so everything on his team is counter vulnerable. And then we just have taunt to negate rocks or set up healing, whatever. And then Memento to make it easier to set up with Mew. Nothing else to say. Zoroark, and then we have another lead. You have another Focus Sash Mamoswine, a Sash or a Focus Sash Mamoswine. Nothing much else to say about this. This is just my way of like weakening the rest of his team, because again, he has no ghost types, so I guess Endeavor everything. But depending on the matchup, I'm not really going to care much for Mamoswine because of the fact that if I don't get rid of the Scizor, then this set is kind of useless. Well, it's kind of, I don't want to say Mamoswine's useless in this game. It does actually do a lot of work, but if it can Endeavor the Milotic or the Clef, whatever the case may be, then it's done its job. But I'm not really expecting much from Mamo in this game. Aside from checking Lando T, but as you're going to see in the battle, he's going to go downhill pretty quick, and you'll see what I mean. So that being said, let's just hop right into the battle, and you're going to see that Zidane did not bring Milotic. Arcanine's set is absolutely fucked. He didn't bring Mienshao, so Zoroark is not... Well, Zoroark can still do something. So let me take that back. So he brings the Lando T, the Weavile, the Clef, the Roserade, the Azelf, and the Mega Scizor. So regardless of what happens here, my lead was always going to be Zoroark disguised as my Primarina. I considered leading off with Mamo, but I was leading off with Zoroark disguised as Mamo, excuse me. But I was like, if he leads off with Lando and he goes for a U-turn, I can counter, and then I was like, nah, you know what, I'm gonna do it anyway. So what's gonna happen is, I'm gonna lead off with my Zoroark disguised as my Primarina. He leads off with his Azelf, and I'm like, okay, I have no idea what this thing's gonna do. The way he led off with it, I'm thinking it's Scarf. I mean, not Scarf, it's lead with Stealth Rock. So I'm just gonna click knock off turn 1 here, and then for some reason this happened. I didn't get this I didn't understand this play, like what's like first and foremost, cause like wait a minute, why did my Zoroark outspeed an Azelf? I don't mind him being choice band Azelf, but why didn't Azelf be slower than a Zoroark? Like this didn't comprehend in my head. I was just all over the place. I was derping. I'm derping still, like Anyway, so I outsped an Azelf, knocked off the choice band, and knocked it out entirely. So I'm like, wait a minute, what the heck is going on here? This makes no sense. I'm not complaining though, because Azelf is dead. And he comes to Lando, and I'm like, okay, cool, I can counter this thing. He had rocks. I was like, damn! I revealed counter too soon, and I'm like, there goes my ploy. I was like, I should have taunted. Like, a part of me wanted to taunt here, cause he led Azelf, and I was like, nah, he wouldn't be choice banded Stealth Rock. That makes no sense. Cause the way he had Lando, I'm thinking the Clef is Stealth Rock, and this is Scarf Lando. But yeah, I played myself, but it was a 50-50. There was no way of me knowing for sure if this was his rocker or Clef clip in the rocker, or whatever the case may be. But I revealed counter, and now he knows. So I was gonna play around that, go on to his Clef. I'm gonna taunt. Screw that nonsense. So I think I'm going to he's gonna double out into Scizor. He has a click knock off for this turn, and then he's gonna double back into Clef with that counter again. He's gonna taunt me. I'm gonna taunt him. He's gonna go for Moonblast, and I'm like, you know what? Don't care anymore. I'm just gonna click Memento this turn. As he goes for a Moonblast and fails, now I go out into my Mew. I'm gonna Rock Polish up and comes to Weavile, and then I'm going to Fire Blast afterwards as he goes back out into Clef. And then I'm going to Nasty Plot in his face just to see if he is indeed unaware, but he's soft boiled, which means he's not unaware. So when I Nasty Plot again to get the +4, goes for Toxic. I'm like, damn! Like, you had to be Toxic, but it's fine. So now I'm gonna click Psychic here, and you're gonna see this thing drops. Yes! Clef gone. And it comes to Weavile. I know I can take it out with a Fire Blast. He's gonna Ice Shard me for damage. And then Everything goes to shit. The Fire Blast misses the weave out. Story of the season. If it's not hacks that lets me in or bad prep, it's misses. I mean, I was like, at this point, I never really cared. I was like, you know what, screw it. Like, I really didn't care at this point, because I'm gonna die to the next ice shard. I'm like, yep, who cares? In comes my Primarina. Now I'm gonna go for the hidden power fire, because he had 3 Pokemon left weak to fire. I was like, why not? So I'm gonna sack on my Mamoswine here, because like I could have went hard. Like, okay, so here's my play was obviously to go Scolipede, but I didn't want him to predict me go Scolipede as he goes for the extra sensory. So I went hard Mamo, thinking he would over predict, and I was like, you know what? I also could have went Arcanine, because Arcanine was absolutely doing nothing this game other than intimidating Scizor. And I check it with Fire Spin, where he could just U-turn out. So I was like, screw that nonsense. So down goes my Mamo. Go back. Now I go with my Arcanine here. As I'm gonna click Fire Spin this turn as it goes out into its Landorus. And guess what? I missed that too. Lovely. So he goes for Stone Edge and he crits me. Now I will say afterwards that at this point the game was already over, but the crit kind of rubbed salt in the wound. I will admit, I was extremely upset at this game because of all the hacks that went against me. At the same time, though, I was already in like I was really playing like I care, because I was right out the playoffs. My season was a wreck, so I was like, you know what? Like, it really doesn't matter anymore. So Arcanine drops, in comes Primarina. I'm gonna click Hydro Pump this turn. He's gonna use as he goes for U-turn into the Rose Raid, and I'm gonna miss Hydro Pump too. So, like I said, didn't matter here, because at this point I had already lost the game to Rose Raid plus Scizor. So this is going to be a 4-0 loss to us, because as you're going to see, I'm going to Scolipede and I'm going to click Sword Stance, hoping he doesn't. I can live and hidden power fire, but he has extra sensory, so what's the point? So yeah, like there's really nothing much else to say about like this game. Like, this game was like legit, like all sorts of bad. Like, I can laugh it off now, considering that the game is over with, but like right after the game I was just like so frustrated, because this is not how I wanted the season to end. Even more so the fact that I end the season 3-7 for the 2nd straight season. But then again, like, I never really felt comfortable with my team as a whole, so I only have myself to blame for that. But the only like satisfying part about this is the fact that it's over. That's really all I can say. There really isn't much else to say. Like, I just had a very bad season. Like, long story short, like, I finished the season 3-7, though honestly I feel like I should be 1-9. Cause the 2 out of the 3 games I won because of hacks, and I don't like winning because of hacks. All the other games that I lost, I either lost cleanly or I screwed up myself, and I was like, yeah, you know what? There were just a lot of things that like it was a lot of things that just went wrong for this season, for this team. And at the end of the day, there's nothing much else I can say regarding like my playing. But also it does account to the fact that I did draft a team that I wanted to draft some different Pokemon. I didn't want to get into the same comfort zone of like drafting Pokemon I know how to use and all that stuff. I wanted to be outside the box. I didn't want to get into that lull myself into a false insecurity where people know my playstyle, how I build, how I battle, and all that stuff. So this was a learning experience, especially considering the difference between this team and the team I had last season. I definitely felt a lot more comfortable with that team as opposed to this team, and I'm still 3-7, so That's gonna be it. Enough of me rambling and all that stuff. I can say GG now to Zidane. I know the hacks was not his fault. Like, nobody controls hacks, but me missing, like, I think I missed 3 or 4 moves, and then I get crit the turn after I missed the move was kind of like, it was just like, man, what else do you want from me? But that's gonna be it. Nothing much else to say about this. The season's over for me. And with me officially done with the NPL Minors season, I will take the liberty of saying that I will not be back for Season 6 of the NPL Minors, mainly due to the fact that I need to take a step back. Like, the whole ordeal with this season was just like one big travesty to me, and I feel like I need to like take a step back. I need to like focus more on other stuff. Not saying I didn't enjoy my time in the NPL Minors, it was just more of that fact that I don't really think I've played to the level that is required to stay in the NPL Minors. This is nothing against my opponents that I played. This is just more about me feel like I need to get better in other aspects of battling and whatnot, and prepping and all that stuff. This may sound like I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself. I put too much pressure on myself, but that's just me trying to be as competitive as possible. Me trying to bring like the most worthy league content, and I feel as though at this point that I just don't feel like I can do that at this point. I don't want to have that pressure on myself. I know I value like having fun or making things competitive and whatnot, but I kind of like screwed up that fine line myself. So I hope you guys understand that I'm not leaving like forever. I'm just taking a step back. I'm just like drained. Like, this entire minor season has just been like one emotional wreck after another. So nonetheless, that is going to be it for me. Regardless of how the season ended, I hope you guys did enjoy the battle nonetheless. Feel free to check out the NPL fan server, as well as the other coaches in the NPL Minors, as well as cheering on your favorite coach, as I'm pretty positive Zidane's now playoff bound, depending on how the other games play out. But that's gonna be it from me, guys. This is Season 5 of the NPL Minors done, and until the next time in the next league, this is Tone, signing off for now. Peace out.